Beijing, 3:42 a.m. The city was asleep, but inside room 803 of the Hanting Grand Hotel, the faint glow of a laptop illuminated Yu Menglong's tired face. A cup of untouched coffee trembled on the desk beside him as he pressed record for what would become the final footage of his life. Hours later, Yu would be gone, found lifeless in the same room. But what no one knew, not even the investigators at first, was that a hard drive containing his last recording disappeared before dawn. The official narrative said it was a suicide. But those who had been following the case knew better. When a forensic technician leaked an inventory photo of Yu's hotel room, sharp-eyed fans noticed something odd: a laptop cable, but no hard drive. That missing device would later become the center of one of China's most whispered investigations. 2 weeks after Yu's funeral, an anonymous courier delivered an unmarked brown envelope to a small independent media outlet in Shanghai. Inside was a single SD card and a note written in Chinese calligraphy: "You're looking in the wrong place." He recorded everything. The card contained just one 27-second video clip, blurry, dark, and chaotic. In the reflection of a mirror, Yu Menglong appeared, half-lit by a desk lamp. His expression was tense. Behind him, a shadow moved across the wall. Then the camera cut to black. When the clip surfaced, it landed on the desk of investigative reporter Liang Wen, the same journalist who'd been following the vanishing witness case, the mysterious disappearance of Lin Qian, Yu's stylist and rumored confidant. Liang had already uncovered inconsistencies in the CCTV footage from the hotel, timestamps altered, audio spliced. But this new clue, this missing hard drive, hinted at something far more deliberate. If he recorded something that night, Liang told colleagues, it means he knew something was coming. People don't document peace, they document danger. Hotel security logs revealed that Yu had received a visitor at 11:57 p.m., listed under a pseudonym, Han Wei. No identification was scanned, but cameras caught a tall man wearing a hooded coat and surgical mask entering the elevator to the 8th floor. That same camera feed went dark 3 minutes later. Electric failure, the management claimed. Coincidence, the police insisted. But Liang found something else. The maintenance report for that night had been rewritten the next morning, a digital forgery. And when she accessed the hotel's power monitoring data, the outage affected only room 803. Liang, you cleaned room 803 after the police left? Cleaner, yes, next morning. But the computer was gone. There was a dust mark on the table, like something small was removed. Square-shaped. Liang, you didn't see the item? Cleaner, they told me not to look. One officer said, if you want to keep your job, you saw nothing. The silence in her voice was heavier than her words. The footage from the SD card was analyzed by independent forensic experts. Their findings were chilling. The video metadata matched the timestamp 2:11 a.m., July 14th, the same night you died. But it had been copied from a 2 terabytes Western Digital drive, serial number F6X793B2, and that drive had never been logged by police. Liang traced the serial number through import records and found that the drive was purchased anonymously at a Beijing electronics store under the name Zhang Rue, the same alias you used when checking into the hotel. It meant Yu Menglong himself had bought the device. And he had recorded something. In one of the recovered files from Lin Qian's missing phone, a voice message from Yu appeared, never released to the public: if anything happens to me, don't open the drive until you're somewhere safe. It has everything. Everything. What could everything mean? Financial records? Blackmail? Evidence of the secret meetings rumored between Yu and members of his last film's production team, the same team later accused of silencing him? The more Liang searched, the deeper the connections went. Audio engineers enhanced the leaked 27-second clip. In the background, faint beneath Yu's voice, they detected something almost imperceptible, a second voice, whispering 2 words in Mandarin: hurry. Upload. But Yu never uploaded the footage. He didn't have the chance. At 4:17 a.m., emergency services were called to the hotel. Police claimed Yu was found unresponsive, his laptop unplugged, and no external device connected. Yet witnesses later contradicted that. A hotel staffer, who spoke on condition of anonymity, told Liang, when they carried the body out, an officer had a small gray case. I recognized it. It was a hard drive pouch. The same kind our IT staff use. That case was never logged into evidence. Months later, a retired police informant reached out to Liang with an encrypted file. It contained a manifest of confiscated items stored in an underground evidence warehouse in Tongzhou district. Among them was an entry listed simply as digital media, black external HDD, label removed. No serial number. No origin file. But the timestamp matched Yu Menglong's death investigation. When Liang arrived at the warehouse, the logbook clerk stared blankly at her press ID. "That item doesn't exist anymore," he said. "Then why is it in your database?" she asked. "Because it did," he whispered. At 2:46 a.m. on a rainy night in August, Liang received a call from an unknown number. A distorted male voice spoke only once. "He didn't die for nothing. The drive is out." Then silence. The next morning, a fragment of video surfaced on a dark web forum, the same footage from the SD card, but extended. Yu was sitting at the desk, staring into the lens. His hands trembled as he said, "If this ever reaches anyone, please don't believe what they tell you. The truth is bigger than me." Then, a knock on the door. A pause. And the sound of a hard drive disconnecting. The government's cybersecurity bureau quickly shut down the video's source. All reposts vanished within hours. Social media accounts that shared it were suspended under the pretext of digital forgery and misinformation. But users noticed something impossible to fake, a reflection in Yu's glasses showing the date and time of recording. It matched official forensic records exactly. Someone was covering tracks, but too late. Liang went underground. Her last published post read, "The footage is real. The truth is stored in more than one place." She vanished a week later. Her laptop was recovered in a Nanjing subway locker, the password screen frozen on a single word, upload. Across Chinese and international media, the phrase "missing hard drive" trended for days before being censored. Fan theories erupted, some claiming Yu had uncovered an internal corruption ring linked to his agency, others suggesting the drive contained evidence of manipulation in entertainment contracts and offshore funding. But the most unsettling theory came from an anonymous post on Weibo. The drive was never about money. It was about names. When asked what names, the post replied simply, "The same 16 mentioned in the funeral article." A clear reference to the now infamous 16 names behind Yu Menglong's death report. Weeks later, foreign investigators intercepted a message on an encrypted email chain linked to a file-sharing network. Subject line, "From YM." Attached was a 3-second audio file, static, then a familiar voice saying, "Not gone. Still watching." Voice analysis confirmed a 98% match to Yu Menglong. Today, the whereabouts of the hard drive remain unknown. The hotel has since been renovated, room 803 permanently sealed under the guise of structural damage. In the world of Chinese entertainment, mentioning Yu Menglong's name in interviews is quietly discouraged. But fans continue to dig, trade, and analyze fragments of his final message. On certain nights, across private servers, an identical clip reappears, sometimes for seconds, before being deleted again. Each version includes a digital watermark at the bottom corner, 3 faint letters, LQI. Lin Qianyu. The initials of the two who tried to tell the truth and vanished trying. In the end, the missing hard drive remains more than an object. It's a symbol of silence, proof that somewhere, out there, someone still holds the evidence that could unravel everything. And maybe, just maybe, it's still recording. It was 2:04 a.m. when the camera light blinked red again. The timestamp on the screen matched the metadata later recovered by Liang Wen's forensic contact, July 14, 2023, 2 hours 4 minutes and 17 seconds. Yu Menglong was alone, or so it appeared. In the dim glow of his hotel desk lamp, his reflection flickered on the laptop screen. His fingers hesitated above the keyboard as though fighting an invisible weight. He whispered something, too low for the mic to catch. Then came the first audible line, calm but trembling. "If anyone finds this, tell them I didn't run." The sound of distant thunder rolled outside. The rain had begun. Beijing was half drowned in storm clouds that night, the city lights bleeding across wet asphalt. But within room 803, the storm was silent. The only sound was the quiet hum of the computer fan and the occasional crackle of Yu's shallow breathing. He turned the camera slightly, angling it toward a folder on the table, thick, unmarked, with a single red sticker that read "Confidential." Next to it was the missing hard drive, black, metallic, and blinking faintly with power. He plugged it in. A faint click. Then the laptop screen brightened. Lines of file names appeared in rapid succession. They told me to delete everything, Yu murmured, voice steadier now. But they don't understand. Once it's seen, it can't be unseen. The camera shook slightly, as if he had bumped the table. Then, a faint knock echoed. 3 times. Soft. Controlled. Yu froze. His eyes darted to the door. Then back to the screen. He didn't move. Another knock. Louder this time. Who is it? He asked. Silence. He exhaled slowly, then leaned forward and pressed a key. The monitor showed folders labeled Day 1, Parking Lot, Backstage, Set, 6/23. He clicked open one file, roughcut_truth.mov. The video inside wasn't from that night, it was footage from the final days on set of his last film. Yu was standing beside 2 producers, both laughing, but the audio revealed something else entirely. Beneath the laughter, an argument, muffled, harsh, filled with threats. Someone said his name. Someone else said, he knows. Yu paused the playback, zoomed in on the reflection of a mirror behind the group. In that reflection stood a 4th person, blurred, watching. He whispered to himself, you were right, Lin. It was never just a film. Then he reached into his pocket, pulling out a small voice recorder. He placed it on the table next to the hard drive, pressed record, and began speaking like a man preparing his own testimony. I can't tell if this will reach anyone, but if it does, please listen. They've followed me since the airport. My messages get deleted. Every night, someone checks the hallway camera. Even now, I hear footsteps outside. As if on cue, a faint creak echoed through the video, floorboards shifting just beyond the door. He didn't flinch this time. Instead, he leaned forward. If you're watching this, it means they didn't want it out. But I made a copy. I hid it where they'd never think to look. He glanced straight into the camera. It's not with me. At that precise moment, the recording glitched. A burst of static consumed the frame. Forensic analysts later determined that the interference wasn't random, it was triggered by a second device nearby, likely a phone signal jammer. Someone was close. Yu's hand moved quickly. He ejected the hard drive, wrapped it in a small plastic sleeve, and placed it under the lining of his suitcase. Then he reached for his phone, typed something on the screen, and whispered, "Sent." He hadn't uploaded the video, but he had transmitted coordinates. The final seconds of that recording, later reconstructed by audio engineers, revealed the faint sound of a door unlocking, slow, deliberate, without a keycard beep. Yu turned toward it. His expression shifted from fear to something else, resignation. "You're early," he said quietly. Then, a voice, deep, male, controlled, answered from beyond the frame. "You shouldn't have filmed it." The video cut out. When journalist Liang Wen obtained this recovered footage, she didn't release it immediately. She verified timestamps, metadata, and background noise. The storm that night, the thunderclap heard at 2:07 a.m., matched meteorological data from Beijing's East District. Even the faint hum of an elevator in the distance corresponded with the hotel's mechanical frequency. Everything was real. But the question remained, who was the man behind the door? Liang tracked the hotel's employee roster from that night. Only 5 staff members had access to the master keys, 2 security guards, a cleaner, and 2 maintenance men. One of them, surnamed Feng, disappeared 3 days after Yu's death. His apartment was cleared out, his phone disconnected. He was never found. Leaked police transcripts later revealed that Feng had worked off the books for a private client affiliated with an entertainment investment group, the same group that funded Yu's last production. Coincidence? Liang didn't think so. She flew to Guangzhou to meet a contact who claimed to have seen the missing drive. They met at a cafe on Nanhua Road, both wearing masks. The man slid a photo across the table, a grainy image showing a hard drive sealed in a zip bag labeled Case 803A. "You didn't get this from me," the man muttered. "Where did you find it?" "Customs storage, Shenzhen. It was scheduled for transfer overseas." "To who?" "A name that doesn't exist anymore." He left before finishing his tea. Liang never saw him again. Back in Beijing, she traced Yu's last sent text to a server belonging to a secure messaging app. The message contained only GPS coordinates, a construction site outside Chaoyang district. Investigators later discovered a buried locker there, rusted shut. Inside it, a flash drive wrapped in hotel linen. But the flash drive was empty. Or rather, wiped. Forensic analysts found faint traces of overwritten data, replaced with encrypted fragments. The signature? Identical to that used in classified government archiving systems. Someone had found the original before Liang did, and erased it with precision. Still, one fragment remained recoverable. It was only 1.4 seconds long, just enough to show you turning the camera toward the window, where the storm raged outside. Lightning illuminated a reflection behind him, a tall figure in the doorway. Then, static. When Liang replayed it in slow motion, she noticed something else. The figure wasn't moving toward you, it was standing behind him, looking directly into the camera. Its eyes were open. Cold. Still. Watching. And just before the static swallowed the frame, a single faint line of text appeared at the bottom of the screen, possibly embedded by Yu himself. Truth isn't gone. It's waiting to be seen. To this day, no one has confirmed who recovered the drive, or what the missing contents contained. But according to one anonymous leak, fragments of the recording have resurfaced on encrypted cloud networks, each time under the same folder name. 803, the night he knew. And every version ends the same way, with the same whisper captured on Yu's lips before the feed cuts to black. They won't erase me.